I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up.
What up, what up? This is Julius Campbell coming to you live from 520 here, 520 Tavern on Abercorn in Savannah, Georgia. And I am excited about today. This is a live feed. What we're doing here on Ink to Ink, we are getting ready to promote voting. What are you doing? We want you to make sure your voice is heard. We want you to get out. I don't know who it is you're voting for, but you have power, and your power comes through your voices. Please get out and make your voices heard. What are we doing here tonight? Well, primarily we got a debate that's getting ready to go on between Senator Warnock and also Herschel Walker, and we are going to listen to that debate. But before we do that, we want to kind of like get everybody's input. And so why is that important to us? Well, it's important to us from ink to ink because what people are doing is affecting us. For those of you returning citizens that you don't know, what is going on right now affects you. And I'm serious. So many of us complain about what's going on and how it's affecting us, but we don't open our mouths. And so tonight, I'm hoping that I can encourage you and motivate you to open your mouths. But what do we do here at Ink to Ink, Incarceration to Incorporation? We give people, returning citizens, a platform to tell their stories. Why? Because we believe that stories matter. And it's because of AB and Julius Hall that we have this opportunity, but also my host and co-host, Marie Jones, she'll be here with me in a minute. But we are OAA Savannah. What does that stand for? That is beautiful and clear to me. It is OAA Savannah, Offender Alumni Savannah, Offender Alumni Savannah. What do we do? Offender Alumni Association Savannah. What are we doing? We are providing a stage, a platform for us. Us is people that's coming home from prison 20 years ago or 20 days ago. We are giving us an opportunity to tell our positive stories that we are successful. What do I mean when I say successful? We are successful relationally, organizationally, occupationally. We are successful, and people need to know how successful we are. And so that's why we tell these stories, to kill that false narrative, the false narrative that as soon as we get out of prison, we automatically return. That is not the case. And so that's what we're doing today. And I'm so glad that I get an opportunity to tell people who I am, where I came from, and where I'm going. You know, I always love to say it this way. I may have started out wrong, but look at me now. I'm finishing strong. So without further ado, right here at 520 Tavern, right here on Abercorn, OAA, Savannah, and Ink to Ink. We're getting ready to go and get some interviews. I want to hear what people are saying as it relates to this debate that's getting ready to come up. So come on and join me as we get ready to ride. Let me give you a little shout out to where, again, where am I? See where I'm at? See where I'm at? What you see where I'm at? For sure, for sure. Getting out. All right, let's go and talk to some people. All right, I don't know the sound stage in here, but when we get in here, we're going to talk. So let's go in here and see what we got. Oh, I'm in the wrong door. All right, let's see what we got going on in here. All right. Now, how you doing, these two beautiful ladies here? I'm gonna she's a little nervous, but that's okay. I want you to tell what's going on here. Why are you here? And people can see you. Okay, there you go. There you go. And also, Right. So, no, you don't. So tell the people, tell me who are you?
Hi, I'm Kadia Zanubia. I'm a program manager at Deep Center for the Block by Block and Slam program.
Okay, and who are you?
I'm Martina. I'm the youth community organizer for Deep Center. And we're here today at 520 Tavern on Abercrombie Street. We're going to be hosting a viewing party of the debate between Walker and Warnock, and with a hope that we bring community awareness and rapport around voting and getting communities together. This is a bipartisan event, so all parties are welcome. And this is just an opportunity for us to be able to engage and, come together as one community.
All right, now we're going to get her to tell us a lot more about what she got going on tonight, but I want to find out what Miss Kadia got going on.
I don't have anything going on, really.
Well, there is a reason why you're here. Attendee too.
Yeah, to the event. I'm interested to see what both candidates have to say. I haven't really been as involved in politics prior to this year, so this stuff means a lot to us, and it'll affect us immediately. So it's a very important time in our history.
So let me ask you this: are you a registered voter?
Yes.
And how long have you been a registered voter?
For 3 years now.
Great. So you do believe that your voice matters?
Absolutely. We think that one vote is the difference, but if 10 of us think that our vote doesn't matter, then that's really 10 votes that aren't getting counted. So I don't ever want to fall into that mindset.
Especially for young people. A lot of young people, when I get out and I talk to people about canvassing, I ask them, I say, do you believe that your vote counts? And primarily the response is, it doesn't matter. So as a young person, what made you realize that your vote does matter? Did someone have to convince you, or you just automatically believed it?
I think it's because of how much we fought for it. It wasn't something that was given to us. We didn't even count as a whole human. So if my ancestors thought it was important enough to risk their lives to get this right, then I'm gonna exercise it. I'm not gonna not take advantage of that.
Oh, that's awesome. It sounds like she's very educated and passionate about what she's doing. And what about you?
Very educated and passionate.
Now, this young lady right here, she understands the power of our voices. And the reason why I know that is because she goes out to try to push people for registration, and she gives classes on registration, and she just a powerful voice in Savannah. So tell us, what do you think we should be doing now?
So this is the opportunity right now, since the registration is actually over, it ended October 11th. But this is a opportunity now for early voting is the next thing. So October 17th starts early voting date. So this is one of those ways that you can be able to learn more about that process. Aside from just this community event, we will be at Sunday Supper on September 30th. Just giving more insight into what's going to be on your ballots. I feel like a lot of people get there and they don't understand what kind of referendums are on those ballots and what they mean, because to be honest, the language they write it in is because they don't want you to understand. So we are going to break that down for you a little bit so that you understand what you're voting for and how that vote will affect you. And one good thing about Deep Center and any kind of thing that we do in regards to bipartisanship is that we understand that everybody's voice matters. We're not telling you where to sway your vote, but we do want you to be educated in what you're voting for.
And I'm not going to keep you ladies long. I want to ask one more question. Can you give us I guess I don't want to say an opportunity or an idea, but I want you to tell me an example of where a lot of people thought that their vote did not count, but because many people like you got out and encouraged them and pushed them, and also you, Kadia, got out and did what you did, what were the results? Can you give us an example when that happened?
For sure. So the last election that we had in Georgia was one of the times we had a record number for a number of young people that voted. They voted more than any of the elderly or middle-aged citizens in the state. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that our young people were extremely excited about the process of understanding and rocking their votes and ballots. So that's what happens when we get people educated and in the know for how to vote and which way to vote.
Awesome. See, I told you she knew exactly what she was talking about. So one last thing before you go, do you want to encourage the people to vote, especially young people?
Yeah, of course. Get out there. We can't sit and a lot of people like to sit and complain. I feel like the sun is sit and complain about things not being better, but when we have an opportunity to make them better, we have to take advantage of every opportunity. And this is one of those ways that we can change things for the better.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you too. You a little nervous? That's all right. You did awesome. You did awesome too. Thank you for the talk to me. All right, listen, I tell you, I'm excited about where we are and what's going on. Why are we here? Again, we are here because we want to encourage people. We're here because we want to motivate people. And we did a podcast not long before said to motivate, to participate, and to educate. And what we're doing is we're doing that very same thing. I'm just going to pan around and let you see where we are. Again, we're at 520 Tavern on Abercorn, and what we're doing again is we want people to come out. This is going to be a viewing of the event, the debate between Senator Warnock, excuse me, and also Herschel Walker. So if there's a way that you can come on down and listen, and we just want you to be prepared to know that there are things that we can do to change the narrative. There are things that we can do to change the perception that people has as it relates to returning citizens. Because guess what? There are over 80,000, that's right, 80,000 returning citizens who potentially have the right to vote, but they don't know that. They don't know that because they thought that when they lost their rights and their privileges, it doesn't come back to them. But that is not the case. We, right now, if you are not on probation or parole, you can vote. Again, let me say that if you are not on probation or parole, you can vote. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to get out to the polls. We want you to listen to these candidates, find out what they are saying, make sure that it is true, see if it's something that benefits you. Don't just allow these people to come to your church, to your community, and then they do not tell you what they can do for you, or they just tell you what they can do, and then you don't see them or hear from them again. That's what we are trying to do here tonight, to motivate, to educate, so you can participate in voting. That's right. Motivate, educate, participate in voting. Now, before I get ready to bring my next guest in to speak, I just want to say a couple of more things to you. I just want to make sure that you know we always want to encourage. We always want to encourage, yes. So, but before I get ready to encourage you, our first commercial break is getting ready to take place. So I'll be back in just one moment here live at 520 Tavern. We'll see you in just a moment. That's right. We're back. We're back. Okay. Now I'm getting ready to interview one of the workers here at 520, just to hear what they have to say as it relates to what's getting ready to take place. You ready? Look, he's a little nervous, a little camera shy, but we got somebody. Hold on one second. They're going to get somebody in the back for me to talk to. Why? Because everybody's voice matters, not just the returning citizens, but everybody's voice. Why? Because all of us will be affected by whoever our next candidate is getting ready to talk about. So I want you to definitely listen, and as they get ready to share what's on their heart and mind, I want you to do the same thing. So just give me 1 second as it comes back from the back. Going to get somebody for me to interview. I tell you, I'm excited about this. This is my first time. I don't know a lot about the political arena, but what I am learning about, what I am learning about is that we need to use our voice. Now, I have, what's your name?
Imani.
Okay, I have Imani here with me, and I'm just going to ask her a few questions. Are you camera shy? Okay, cool. So I got somebody that can talk. So here you go. Just can you see yourself?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. Tell the people who you are.
I'm Imani. I work at 520.
Okay. Now this is Imani, and she work at 520. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking?
I'm 21.
Okay. So are you registered to vote?
I am.
Great. Now this is something awesome because a lot of people are not registered to vote, but she is. So tell me, why did you think it necessary for you to be registered?
Well, I feel like now the younger generation is starting to have more of a say in the politics and having more of a, we're starting to pay attention more to what's going on in the world because we're getting older now and it's starting to affect us as well. Also, my grandma really instilled that in me because she, as soon as I turned 18, she wanted me to register to vote. So, yeah.
Cool. So you do know that there's going to be a debate here tonight by Senator Warnock and also by the candidate Herschel Walker. You familiar with that?
Yes.
All right. So I'm not going to ask about who you're going to vote for because this is a bipartisanship. But what we do want to know is, are you paying attention to what they're saying?
For sure.
Okay, cool. And you believe that what they're saying is going to affect you? Okay, so let me ask you another question. Why are a lot of people, when you ask them are they registered to vote or are they going to vote, they say, well, it doesn't matter. Have you heard those responses?
I have. I actually have friends who still think that. I mean, I can see how they feel that way, but also I feel like, what's the hurt in voting anyway? Like, what's that going to do? If you don't believe it's not going to do anything, so what's the hurt in trying anyway?
And so when they say things like that, do you encourage them to get out and vote?
Yeah, I really do actually, because I feel like we're growing up. It's time to start thinking about this is our future. This is going to affect us. If it's not affecting us now, it will when we get older.
Oh, now I love that. See, now this is a young lady that's sharing that. Now I'm not going to keep you long because I know you're at your job. I want to ask you two more questions, and then I want to give you an opportunity to encourage the people. Okay. So my first question that I want to ask you is this something? When I say this, I'm talking about the power that politicians have. How long did it take you to realize that other people and their power plays a part in your life?
How long did it take me to realize that? I think when the pandemic hit, because that was when I was first starting my adulthood on my own, and when it hit, I started to realize, the laws and regulations and everything, and who was behind it, and I wasn't agreeing with some of them. That's when I realized it was starting to affect me.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And she did something about it as well. And I love what she said her grandmother pushed her. Praise God for those older patriarchs and matriarchs that we had in our lives. But the second question that I have, and it's not real difficult, is are you listening to not just these two candidates, but are you making, I guess the word I want to use is intentionality. Are you being intentional about finding out what candidates are saying, not just these two candidates, but presidential candidates as well?
I think I need to be more intentional about it, because I really just pay attention to like the more what I see. But if I do see and I am interested in it, I will go and research more about it. But I think I do need to be a bit more intentional about that.
Love that. And my last thing, I want you to encourage those that are listening. We have different audiences. Now, what we do is called Incarceration to Incorporation. And we minister primarily to men and women that have gotten out of prison. And we tell them that they have a story, a powerful story. And so in telling them that they also have a right to vote as well. So we deal with returning citizens, relatives of returning citizens, and resources for returning citizens. But we're also talking to the community. So I want you right now to look into that camera, and I want you to encourage whomever you choose, whether it's a returning citizen or whether it's a resources for a returning citizen, a relative or young people, encourage them to get out and vote.
I encourage everyone to get out and vote. There's no hurt in voting. At least try to get your voice out there. It's no hurt. It's not going to do any bad. If you see something and you don't like it and you want it to be changed, vote. Unless you want to run as well, but vote. It's not going to hurt anyone.
I love that. Iman, can I ask you one more question? Do you know any returning citizens? Again, a returning citizen is someone that has gotten out of prison, whether it's 20 years ago or 20 days ago. And do you, when you see returning citizens, do you, now I'm catching you off guard, I know, but do you um, look at them judgmentally or do you give them that encouragement of a second chance?
I definitely don't look at them judgmentally. My brother actually, he was incarcerated for 6 years, and he just came back when the pandemic hit. So it's been a couple years, and he's been doing great. So I definitely encourage them because it's a second chance. It definitely is a second chance in life, and I see my brother taking that step. So yeah.
Great, and I thank you for your time.
Thank
You
you.
did an awesome job
Thank
too.
you.
You didn't seem nervous at all too. All right, thank you, man. We appreciate
Thank
that.
you. No problem.
All right. Did you see that? A young lady that she's telling us that it is important for us to get out and vote. And I love the fact that, you know, having a loved one that was a returning citizen and being there for that loved one, encouraging them to be the best that they can be. That's what I'm talking about. Again, we're here at 520 Tavern on Abercorn, OAA, Savannah, Offender Alumni Association, and Ain't to Ain't, Incarceration to Incorporation. And again, what are we doing? Why are we here? We are here because we want to motivate people. We want to encourage people to get out and vote. And so I am so excited about what's going on. Again, the debate is getting ready to come on at 7 o'clock. We want you to get out and look at it. We want you to listen to it. We want you to see what these two men are talking about and how what they say affects us. Because believe me, it does. Believe me, it does. And I also, you know, I want to take this moment right before we get ready to go on a commercial. I want to take this moment to encourage my brothers and my sisters. Those of you that are returning citizens, why am I encouraging you? Because listen, 26 years I was incarcerated. And I dreamed of being able to come home and be an asset to my community. I dreamed of the opportunity to come home and help lead other people. And that's what I'm doing. I'm being able to lead and to be led and to make sure that there is a voice for the voiceless. I often talk to one of my friends, Jerry, and he said, you know what, Julius? Many of us are voiceless and we don't have anyone to speak up for us. But yes, you do. Right now, you do have someone that is saying what you have been wanting to say for a long time. And I'm glad that I'm able to do that. What am I able to do? To tell people that there are many men and women that are still on the other side of that wall that have changed, that are ready to come back on this side and to be successful and to be not just successful, but to be, I guess the voice I want to say, the word I want to use is intentional. We can be intentional about changing that narrative. Guess what? We're making it. Guess what? You can make it as well. Again, get ready to watch at 7 o'clock. We got the debate between Senator Warnock and also between Herschel Walker, excuse me for that interruption, between Senator Warnock and Herschel Walker. Listen, I'll be back in just a moment to encourage you one last time as we get ready to go to this commercial. What up? What up? What up? I'm back. This is boy Julius Campbell, OAA Savannah, Ain't to Ain't, Incarceration to Incorporation. Again, I'm with you live. It's a Friday evening. I'm with you live right here. Let's make sure you see it. 520. Make sure you can see that right there. 520 Tavern, the restaurant lounge right here on Abercorn. And why am I here? I'm here because I want to encourage. I'm here because I want to educate. I'm here because I want to empower. Yep. That's what we do, those three E's of OAA. But that's not the only reason I'm here. I'm also here because I want to educate, I want to motivate, and I want you to participate in what? Voting. Are you registered to vote? Are you getting ready to use your voice? Are you empowering yourself so that you can get out here and make a difference? If not, I hope that when you hear this podcast, that you are stirred, that you are motivated, that you are encouraged. Why? Because we are making a difference. That's right. We are making a difference. So what are we getting ready to do? I tell you again, at 7 o'clock, what's going on? At 7 o'clock, there is going to be a debate. That debate is going to be between Senator Warnock and also between Herschel Walker. And I hope that you are listening to what these men are saying. Why? Because what they say affects you. And incidentally, let me just throw this in, not just these two candidates, but others, the presidential candidate, the gubernatorial candidate, what these people say affects you. And so I hope that you are being intentional and doing your homework. I like this word, due diligence. You are doing your homework so that you can be informed. That's right. There are many of us, we are not informed. We aren't. We are not informed about what's going on and about the decisions that are being made. Before I get ready to go back in, I think I'm gonna do one more interview. But what do I mean by this? It hurts me, and not just me, but many of us. Do you not know that there are people that are hurting right now? And I'm going to specifically speak to those returning citizens and those that are still on the inside. Do you not know that in the prison system, many men and women are languishing because some of the policies that are out right now, antiquated, or are holding them back? Do you not know that there are many men and women that are incarcerated, can be home, but because there is no adequate housing, no stable housing, no good job, that they can't or they're not allowed to come out? What can we do to change some of these policies? Vote. Vote. That's right. Returning citizens. Let me say something about them. Do you not know that many men and women are being denied housing because of their background? Do you not know that many men and women, they do not have gainful employment because, again, of their background? When is our debt paid? Well, I believe that if we begin to exercise our voice and we begin to vote people in that are progressive, that we begin to vote people in that will listen and change up the old established way, if you will, then we can begin to start sitting at the table. And guess what? I also believe that we, returning citizens, will have a seat at that table, and we can help to fix the things that we at one time broke. How do I tell you this? Yes, me, along with many others, we've made mistakes. We have. And we accept those mistakes that we made. But we have grown past that. And now we are doing well. Myself, Julius, Marie, AB, and those that I have brought on this podcast for many, many months ago. You are hearing these stories. And I just want you to be reminded that these stories matter. They matter so much that I believe they can change our decisions. They can change our thought process. So as I get ready to come to a conclusion here again, I want you to know that your story matters. Your voice matters. Your vote matters. If you don't use it, then I believe that you are holding back the power that could have been used to make a difference. That's right. You're holding back the power that could have been used to make a difference. If not in your life, then in the lives of those you love. Help me. Would you get out and vote? Would you get out and be intentional about learning what those candidates are saying? And those ones that are benefiting you, your loved ones, those ones that are about doing what's right and not simply just affecting what they're doing on their own. Sorry for that noise that's coming out. This is what happens when it's live. But would you do that for me? Would you get out and would you exercise your power to vote? In conclusion, you know me. I love to end with this. And what is that? You know, many of us have messed up in life. Myself, maybe even you. But I want to encourage you, returning citizen. You can do it. You're not alone in this. You can do it. We are egging you on. We are encouraging you. Not just my returning citizen friends, but those that are still on the inside. We are paving a way for you, setting up a platform for you. And I want you to continue to progressively prepare yourself to be the best you that you can be on this side, because we may have started this thing off wrong, but check us out now. We are finishing strong. Thank you for joining me again on Ain't to Ain't. We'll see you next Friday. Remember, listen to what's getting ready to take place, 7 o'clock, Senator Warnock versus Herschel Walker. Get out, cast your ballot. See you next Friday. Good night.
like that.